Right. PD. Yeah. And we have um, no, you got Tai Chi 108 and then that. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. This is a all ages, beginner through intermediate Hung Kuen Kung Fu class. As always, we're going to start with a series of fundamental exercises, a little bit of stretching, some bridges, horse stance, all that good stuff, some punches, some kicks, before we move on to 5 stances, and then we'll tackle some of the forms of the Hung Kuen system. Also, just as a reminder, please do subscribe to our channel, like the videos, share them with your friends. This really helps us to keep putting out all of this content. I think you will agree, at least I would hope you would agree, that we give a lot at a pretty high value, and it helps us in what we're trying to do to have your support. Doesn't cost anything for you to just click like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, so that being said, feet shoulder width. Nice big hoop, and we turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Reaching over. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Raising the arms, stretching gently towards the floor. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once, inhale, and exhale. And again, 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle once, inhale, and exhale. And again, 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle once, inhale, and exhale. Hands on the waist, rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and 2. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and 2. Crossing the hands, knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and 2. Let's switch hands, switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and 2. Hands on the waist, turning the head side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Tilting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Rotation, looking all the way around. 1, 2, 3. And we switch. 1, 2, and 3. Opening up. Arms out. Turning the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Crossing the fingers, we turn to the right. Lift the heels straight back. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Both feet flat. Stretch. Switch. Stretch. Switch, toe up. Switch, toe up. Everybody up, turn to the right, both legs straight. Stretch, bending at the waist. We switch. Stretch. To the middle. Let's bring the feet together, toes out, squatting, elbows between the knees. We call this the frog. We sit, feet together, butterfly. Right leg out, left foot in, stretch towards your right foot. Switch, stretch. Both feet out front, bounce, switch, and up. Okay, so next up we're going to open up into a horse stance. We're going to go traditional horse stance, feet toe to toe, meaning a straight line between your toes. So we start ready position, make fists, pull the elbows back, raising the fist to the waist, knuckles up, bend the knees, heels, toes, heels, and lastly toes. Feet are parallel, feet are flat, knees are bent out, back is straight, body's relaxed. Ping choi. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Low block press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block. Come across the body, stop at the shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Lim Wam Sam Sik. All three on the same side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Closing. 1, 2. Low block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Danji Kyosil. We squeeze down all the fingers except for our index finger. Pull it back to the chest. Elbows back. Push out to the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last set. Shoulder width, shoulder height in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thrust. Flip, roll, press, thrust. Flip, roll, press, thrust. Flip, roll, press, and close. Closing the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shake it out. Nice job. Deep breathing. Okay, left hand on your waist, right fist up, feet shoulder width, bending the knees slightly. You're going to lift the elbow and drop the elbow so that your fist travels in a straight line. You don't want to do this. We call this knocking on the door, and there's no real power there. You want to thrust out and back. Okay, switch, punch. Okay, same thing to the side, punch. Okay, stop, switch, punch. All right, let's stop. Both fists by your ears. You're going to turn Hiwa Choi, diagonal strike down, turning the waist, bending the knees. A lot of times we see this. There's really no power there. You have to bend your knees so that your legs, your hips, can adjust to the waist turn and still keep you grounded. Okay, stop. Bianat Choi, raise your right elbow, striking out with the edge of the fist and back. Okay, stop, switch, punch. Okay, stop, Chelon Choi, cartwheel punch. One fist goes over the other, rolling forward in a circular motion. You don't want to be shoulder width. And go. Okay, stop. Kwa Choi, back of the fist. Same thing as the edge of the fist, but we turn the wrist and strike with this surface and go. Okay, switch, raise your elbow and punch. Okay, stop, lightly touching with your left toe, so no weight on your front foot. Left fist out, right fist is in the low block position to protect, and here we go. We switch and punch, so still no weight on the front foot when you switch. Switch, 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 and switch. Deep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Next up, we're going to do some kicks. We're going to do 6 of each just in the interest of time. Obviously, just like the punches, if you're practicing on your own at home, you can do as many reps as you like. Repetition is our friend. All right, so we're going to go to a leaning stance. Where you put your foot matters. If you're going to do a front kick, you don't want this foot over here and then you have to get all the way around the body. You lose all that forward momentum coming around. You don't want to be too wide, because if you're trying to go forward, your foot's too wide, you're going to have to take more weight off of that foot. So your left foot, toes 45 degrees, knee is bent over the toe. Your right foot, the heel lines up in a straight line with the front toe. Foot's also at a 45 degree. Left hand on top. We punch with our right, toe out with our left, lift the knee, kick with the toe pointed, step back, and punch. That's 1. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's switch. Right foot in front, right hand up, punch with your left, toe out, kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's switch. Again, same leaning stance. Don't turn to the side. Keep the shoulders square to the front. Same kick, but this time we lift the knee. We're going to push out with the heel. It's more of a thrusting kick than a rising kick. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. Right foot in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch feet. Straight leg kick, chun sam hoi. It's the only one we have where we're not going to bend the knee. Make sure that as your foot comes down, you go all the way back to that leaning stance, because the kick coming up is part of the technique, but this is also how you do a sweep, and so we practice both at the same time. Here we go, left hand on top, punch with your right, straight leg, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. Kicking with the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. Wong So Hoi. This is a round kick. The mechanics of this kick, as far as the punch and the toe out, exactly the same. But the fundamental difference is that all these other kicks have basically been directed up the middle, thrusting out, pointing the toe, or straight leg. This kick, we're going to, same thing, leaning stance, punch, toe out, lift the knee up, and then turn over. Your kick still goes to the front. A lot of times we see people do this. It's not what you want. You want your kick to be directed at a target right in front of you. So we punch, toe out, kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I'm going to get a quick drink of water. Suggest you do the same if you've got it handy. All right, so now we're going to jump into 5 stances. This is not the wushu 5 stances. This is the traditional Hongga 5 stances. This was created by our teacher, Grandmaster Calvin Chin, and it's something that we do here. This is an introduction to kind of footwork and coordinating the footwork with your techniques of the hand. So we're trying to coordinate upper and lower. This is an exercise, it really bears, it's really worth doing slowly and deliberately at first, so you build up the mechanics and the coordination, and then after that, if you want to put some speed on your technique and throw it a little more in a realistic fashion, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to do it in 4 directions. When sifu comes in to take over teaching, I'm behind the cameras, and I'm editing from this camera to that camera to this camera. So there's a lot we can do with the camera angles to make sure that you at home can see what's going on. When I'm in front of the camera, we have this one camera right here in the front. And so we're going to use a combination of the mirrors and the fact that I go in 4 directions, so that if you can't see it in one direction, don't worry, we're going to do it in the next direction, and hopefully it'll be clear. If you have any questions, please do ask them in the comments section, and as soon as Sifu takes over, I'll be able to read your questions and we can get them answered in real time. Okay, here we go. Make fists, raise them up, open, drop the elbows, push out. Palms up, make fists, pull, vertical elbow. Open, push out. 1, 2, 3, double elbow, press, thrust, press. Big hoop, we close. Right fist on top, step out, offset horse stance, straight line from toe to heel, chun kill, drawing the bow. Sliding step, leaning stance, punch. Step all the way through, left hand underneath, pull the elbow back, turn the waist and the stance when you punch. Toe out, big cross step, all your weight's off of your left foot, your left heel's off the floor, you make a hoop, and turn to the right, Wulin by me, dragon whips tail. Pivot out, again, make sure you're in an offset. If you're not, adjust your feet. Corner back fist to the head. Chun, toe out, cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover. Leaning, high block, low block. Left knee up, turn, drop, and chop. Step out, press, uppercut, and we close. I'm going to move this way just so that I can stay in the camera's eye. Make fist, right fist on top, step out, offset, chun kill. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, step all the way through, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, big hoop, turn. Dragon whips tail. Pivot out, corner back fist to the head, chun. Punch, step back, cover. Leaning stance, high block, low block, left knee up, drop and chop, step out, uppercut, and close. Remember, when we uppercut, don't let the arm come up too high. Your fist should stop the height of your chin or your nose at the highest, and it should be lined up in the center. So a lot of times we see people uppercut like this. You're too far away, you lost leverage. That's your position, okay? I'm going to move to this side and we're going to go there. That's our third direction. Hopefully I stay in frame. Right fist on top, step out, chun kill, sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, step all the way through, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, big hoop, dragon whips tail, spin out, corner back fist to the head, toe out, punch. Step straight back, cover, leaning stance, high block, low block, left knee up, turn, drop and chop, uppercut, close. Okay, so now we're going to go the final direction. I'm going to offset from the camera. Hopefully you're also able to see the image in the mirror and you can use that to help make sure that you can see everything as we go. Right fist on top, offset, chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, step all the way through, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, dragon whips tail. Spin out, corner back fist to the head. Toe out, chun kill. Step up, punch. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block, left knee up, drop and chop, uppercut, and close. So one thing, a lot of times people are so interested in getting that chop out that they don't set the feet first. And it's true, you do jump, but if you try to chop in midair, you have no power. So when you're here, you change, and then as you drop, you chop. So you're going to free fall, let gravity help to add some force to your chop. Right? Also make sure that the hand is open and flat. Anytime you're going to chop, if you think about thrusting, you want the thumb towards the ring finger and the fingers separated. When you think about chopping, if you think about a knife edge, right? Knives are designed for chopping. You don't see too many that are curved like this. They're usually straight. Right? So that aligns the bones in the hand and you chop. All right. So next up, we're going to do Moy Fa Kuen. This is the Plum Flower Fist set. This is the first form that we teach. 5 stances is considered more of a drill. So this is the first form that we teach at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. Excuse me, so when we go through this, again, if there's any questions, please drop them in the comments section below, and we'll answer them as soon as I'm done here. But while Sifu's teaching, so the class will still be going, you can have his answer directly. All right. So here we are, ready position, make fists, raise them up, left hand middle, salute. Step straight back, feet together, and we close. Remember, we're doing this at a instructional speed, not a performance speed. Okay? So what we're going to do is step out with the left foot, high block, low block. Pull your weight off your front foot, cross step, cross hands. Step through, right hand middle, turn. Dragon. Right fist on top, step back, offset, chun, scoop. Step up, uppercut. Remove, punch. Squatting. Uppercut. Remove, punch. Toe out, cat stance, high block hammer fist. Cross block, we turn to the rear. Okay, the X goes right over your knee. Back to the middle, even movement, drunken punch. So you don't want to throw this too hard or this too hard. The way this happens is the body opens from the middle and it's balanced. Left hand underneath, remove, high block. Step up, punch. Squatting. Step up, uppercut, sliding step, punch. Squatting. Right elbow up, step up, lift, cut, palm strike. Remove, punch. I'm going to move this way just a little bit. So we're here, toe out, step to the rear, come across with your right fist to intercept, left hand underneath, remove, turn the waist and roll the shoulder. Low corner back fist. Palm strike to the chest. High block, outside crescent with the left, hop, kick with the right, press, turn the waist, trap, bong seal. Sit up, back fist, left hand on top, remove. Step up, punch, right fist on top, step in, step back, and clear the way. Chun kill, sliding step, palm strike. Pull your foot back, cross step, scoop, press, kick, punch. Dragon, right fist on top, step back, chun. Sliding step, punch. Middle block, salute. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, deep breathing. Hopefully you're able to follow that. Okay, I'm going to get another quick sip of water here, and we'll continue. By the way, just want to mention, for anyone who's new to our channel, if you happen to be anywhere in the Boston, Newton area of Massachusetts, we have since had our soft opening. I want to say it's been about 6 weeks now. And in any case, so you see all these markings on the floor. These are our social distance pads. They tell everybody where to stand, so they're standing an appropriate distance apart. In these classes, so we stream 2 types of classes. One, live virtual only, like this class. And these classes, since there are no students here, we don't have to wear a mask. But when we do have students on site in the class, everybody wears a mask. Everybody gets contactless temperature reading at the door. There's Purell stations, hand sanitizer all over the place. We do clean regularly. And, it's a pretty safe place to be. It's probably, I would say, as safe as you can find. And it's a great environment. Virtual learning is something that we realize can be done. But in all fairness, there's no substitute to actually taking a class where you're here in the physical space and you can interact with sifu. That being said, if you're not in the area or you're not able to come to the school, we do hope that you'll continue following us on YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, our website, calvinchin.com. And we do hope that you'll support the channel by sharing it with friends, liking it, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I know I kind of beat a dead horse there with that constant messaging, but it's important. I was looking at the analytics the other day, and we have 890 subscribers as of today, and half of our viewers are subscribers. 50% of our viewers are not subscribers. That means we could potentially have another 890 subscribers on the channel, which would really go a long way to helping out our efforts. But half of you don't subscribe. So if you already subscribe, I'm sorry for the message. But if you haven't subscribed, it takes 1 second. You click a button, and we're good. And one last thing, we have a ton of content that we only stream exclusively on our Patreon page. Our Patreon page is another way that you can support our efforts. There are not too many schools streaming classes live 4 days a week, morning and evening classes, at no cost to people, right? And all the equipment costs, the space costs. You can see it's a pretty nice school. This is one of 2 rooms that we have at the school. And, plus time, all of that does have a cost. Not that we're getting paid for our time, but in any case, our Patreon page is a way that you can support our efforts as little as $5 a month and all the way up to a certification program where people could get certified to teach at $200 a month. So there's a lot of leeway in between there. And we offer a bunch of different rewards and advantages along the way. So as an example, Even at the $5 level, you get access to our Discord server. This is a place you can chat questions to us anytime, and I monitor that all the time so we get those questions answered. You can send us video of you doing your form for critique, and that's even at the $5 level. Once you get into the $100, the $50 level per month, we have classes by Zoom. So we have group classes at the $50 level. We even have private classes for the people who want to become certified instructors at the $200 level. And these are, fully interactive Zoom class. I'm sure everybody by now is pretty familiar with Zoom. So in any case, there's a lot on offer there. Check us out on our YouTube channel, Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. Check us out on Patreon, Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. We're on Facebook with Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. We have a live streaming group there. And we also have Tai Chi for Parkinson's page there as well. So if you know someone with Parkinson's, feel free to have them join that. And all of this stuff, with the exception of the Patreon, is free. And even the Patreon, I feel, is pretty reasonable. So again, we'd love to see you there. Thanks for the support. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is Lao Ga Kun. This is the second form that we teach at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. This is the Lao family fist set, and here we go. We make fists, raise them up, leaning stance, middle block. Pivot to leaning, toe out, suspended, turn the waist, salute. Bring your foot back, elbows in, pivot, 1, 2, middle block, suspended, turn, salute. Step straight back, pivot, feet together, we close. 2 punches to the ears, 2 punches down, cross, open, push out, scoop. Right fist on top, cross step with your left foot to a scissor stance, and chun. Suspended, punch. You may notice this directly out of 5 stances. Step straight back, cover. Leaning stance. Now we chop to the waist. Pull the foot back, cross step, scoop. Press, kick, punch. Right fist on top, step in, step back, step out. Chun. Sliding step, punch. Step all the way through. We're going to set the position first. So we're in a leaning stance. Left hand strikes out, sternum height. Right hand's a fist, but also a high block. And we're going to turn Tindu. So we call this drawing the question mark, right? That's the pattern of movement. We turn the waist and drop. Lift Song Gong. Your strike of your left hand has to come out farther than your right hand. If it's here, you missed. You got to get out farther than the block. Drop the elbows, turn. Dragon. Toe out, cross step, high block, low block. Pivot out, sliding step, palm strike. Scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust. Open, double chop, and cross step, Tindu. Wong Tang Hoi, Phoenix Eye. Right fist on top, step up, chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand on top, toe out, step through, thrusting elbow. Dropping palm, back fist. Right fist on top, chun. Sliding step, punch. Step all the way through, set up the position, and then turn the body in the stance, let it go. Song Gong. Elbows down, dragon. Toe out, big cross step, high block, low block, pivot, palm strike. Pull your foot back, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust, cut, double chop, cross step Tindu, Wong Chang Hoi, Phoenix Eye. Both palms out, turn the waist and the stance. Cross step, right hand on top, turn the waist, left hand's at the shoulder, right hand's at the hip, turn, push. Cross step, scoop, turning the waist. Cross step to the opposite corner, flip, step, push. Step in, step out, low block, uppercut. Step in, step out, low block, uppercut. Step straight back, right hand middle block, reach out with your left, turn the waist, chop to the neck. Adjust your foot, thrusting elbow, dropping palm, back fist. Pivot, lift, 1, 2. Cross step, open. trap, bong seal. Step through, press, thrust. Middle block, salute to the corner, and step back. 1, 2, 3, and we close. Deep breathing. So one of the things that hopefully you see in my movement is some consistency of position or posture. So every time you throw this punch, it should look the same. It shouldn't go here one time and here the other time. When you do your flip and you push, it should be consistent, right? And actually, this is something that, because of our teacher Calvin Chin's teaching method, that you see a bit of consistency amongst the movement with most of our students. So how do you do that? You take your time when you practice. You don't rush. You think about where the technique's going. You don't use too much muscle that can take you off track. And you mimic. You see, you try to copy what you see. That's how most people learn physical things, is by seeing it. You know, as they say, monkey see, monkey do, right? So we try to follow it as best we can. This is one of the reasons it's important to have someone who has good imagery. This is one of the things I love about being a student of my teacher, Grandmaster Calvin Chin, is that his imagery is obviously excellent, and every time he does the technique, it's consistent. You know where it's going to go. You can see it get there. You might not always be able to duplicate it, but you can certainly see it, and that gives you something solid to copy. So having a consistent teacher with consistent execution is actually quite important. So hopefully you will take advantage of that here. The next thing we're going to do is Bumbo Kuen. Bumbo Kuen is the third form that we teach at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. It's a 7-star praying mantis form. We've gotten a lot of questions. Why, if you guys are a Hongga school, do you have a 7-star praying mantis? Is that a Hongga form? No, it's not a Hongga form. This form was introduced by late great Grandmaster Lam Jo. He really enjoyed that form. He saw his colleague do it, and also as a show of friendship and respect for him, he added it to our Lam family curriculum. This is a story that I was told by him when I was lucky enough to be in Hong Kong for his birthday celebration in the late 80s. And in any case, so this is why we have this. It's not a Hongga form. It does also, though, have a lot to offer. You know, the way that we do butterfly here is actually the same exact mechanics for the sweeping movement in Bumbo Kuen. So for our Lam family Hung Kuen lineage, this is the only praying mantis form that we have. All right, so I'm going to actually start a little farther over here. Up, circle, press, lift, high block, hop, punch. We come across with the right hand and switch, hop, 1, 2, 3, thrust. Step all the way through, punch. Cross step, big circle, drop. Knee up, punch. Put the foot down first, elbow, back fist, turn, lift, catch. When you lift, you're not going to lift up here. If the person is that big, just run away, right? So you are going to come from your stance up, but the arms come straight out, shoulder height. Put the foot down first, turn the waist, pull. High block, ginger fist, scoop, and vertical. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Thrust. Punch. Down. Lift. 1, 2, 3. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Thrust. Step all the way through. Punch. I'm going to step back just so I can stay in frame. So I'm here. Make that circle. Grab. Step back. Grab with your left. Turn the waist in the stance. Pull. Low block. Palm strike. Step out. Offset to leaning. Toe out. Cat stance. Right elbow. High block. Toe out. Drop the elbow. Chop. Scoop. Pivot. Double elbow. Many times we see people do this. You'll miss if you do this. You've got to be as wide as your shoulders in order to hit. Step out, left hand in front, right hand on top. Pull with the left hand as you turn to leaning stance and strike out with the right. Pivot, pivot, punch. Toe out, sweep, sweep. Vertical, kick, hop thrust, slice. Uppercut, press. Lift, turn, press. Lift, turn, press. Lift, middle. 1, 2, 3. Toe out, step through, leaning stance. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Turn, Pakbo, we lift, sweep with the left. Sweep, sweep, and chop. Hook, back fist, pull back, hop. 1, 2, 3, thrust. Step all the way through, punch. Pivot, vertical, pivot, double elbow, step up, and we close. So hopefully you got something out of that. That's our Bumblecun. That's a 7-star praying mantis crushing step form. It's a pretty well-known form. Most 7-star praying mantis family would have that. In any case, so now I believe Sifu's coming back and he's going to finish up the class. So I leave you in obviously more capable hands than mine, but I hope that you had a great class with me. And soon.
Into fourth form, right?
No, because we
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, you know, we don't know exactly. Well, I don't know exactly how many people have actually progressed beyond the fourth form, or some of you that are watching maybe, you know, are beyond the fourth form. But one of the characteristics of traditional styles is that, you know, what makes a style? You know, what makes a style is some of the common movements that are in the form. So in the first form, you have certain techniques. Second form, you have certain techniques. Bumblecun is exceptional because it's sort of off the chart. It's praying mantis form. But if you go to the traditional Hung style, we have basically the chun kill, right? That's our side blocks. Then we have our high blocks, our low. Those are consistently movements that are in all our forms, and actually a lot of other styles have low, middle, and high. The center line gate, we call these the gateway of the body, really. It's called the upper gate, or xiangmon. Hamon is lower gate, zhongmon is your middle. So when we're using our gates, we're actually performing techniques in them. So, you know, when you progress through the fourth form, you end up learning a form called kungfu. So that's actually our first pillar form. And, you know, that's a form that we do. It's very long, in a sense that a new practitioner would have, you know, a lot of difficulty memorizing all of that. So to prepare people to learn and get the knack of learning form, we go through a series of movements. We have the first form, which is Moy Fa Kuen, which you've already done. Second form is Lao Ga Kuen. That is from another branch of Hongga, or Southern style, but they have similar movements. So when you get to Gungji Kuen, you know, we have in the 5 stances this opening movement. So this is really to develop the dynamics and the strength within our movements. That's also the opening in our iron wire form, which entails you know, different type of breathing concept. But basically, we're working the strength using muscular contractions. We have sort of the isometric side of movements where you know, hold the position and press and so forth. Then the dynamics is when we're in motion, we actually put some effort into it, and that does build strength and direction. Now, when you get the Gungji Kuen and you go into the stances, so we open the stance in Gungji Kuen like this. That's where, foundationally, when we do our warm-ups, we open our stance. So that's really where it's derived from. That's standard opening of a horse stance in any style. Once you get into horse stance, you notice in our forms, especially the more advanced forms, we stay in a position that's to build strength and position. So in the form, we have these pushes, right? So that's working the front, we work to the side as a push. So we build strength in creating strength in the forearm, because the forearm is really your first line of defense when you defend, right? So when you do a dragon claw, we call these bridges. A bridge, right? A bridge. These are all bridges. These bridges are the link between you and your opponent. Now, when we're in these positions, what we're learning, I call it the geometry of position. So geometry of position is the only way you can develop accuracy of movement. So when the hand is here, or the hand is here, or the hand is here, these positions is really what allows you to be effective in application of technique. Because why else do we learn movements? I talk about functionality. If we're using it as a martial art, we have to define that space. We're dealing with a space, which is our body. We deal with our own space, which is the reference point. So when we're in these positions, especially in some of the forms, when we do a wrist block, that's a wrist block. It's parallel to the floor. When we thrust, that's parallel, square, fingertips, okay? And when we cross the hands, these are movements inside gung kun, right? So this is the middle blocks. This is the cross hand, all right? This is center gate, all right? This is middle block. This is cross hand. This is cutting hand. This is cover hand, and this is corner back fist, okay? And then the hands come back. Now we close the stance up, we're back to the starting position. So not only do we develop accuracy of movement from the pivoting of our feet, we also develop accuracy of position by the referencing of our body. So one of the things that we focus on is, where do the hands go? Where do they align with the body? Shoulder height. Shoulder height. These are reference points, so we use those as guideline. Eyebrow level. Eyebrow level. Eyebrow level. These are what we use as reference points. So when you practice your form, after you memorize sequence, you have to work toward putting these positions, into your form, and accuracy of those positions is where the consistency comes from. Consistency is only developed over time, and consistency comes from repetition over and over again. That's why we do a lot of these basic movements, because without those foundation movements, your form's all over the place. Now, when we're in these positions, if you notice, we do two hands. Hung is one of the, especially Gung folk, who works off of movements that are very balanced. We work two sides. A lot of forms are really one-sided movements, but we work both sides. When you're ready to learn this form, you actually have a left side movement, right side movement. We work on transitions. We have footwork. All of that's built into a very basic fundamental form. This form actually evolved, and according to history, came from shaolin. That's where it was the beginning of the movie The Prodigal Boxer. That was Hung Kuen Kung. That was actually the person that actually became famous and brought the Hung family style to the public. But then it became stylistic, and we're one of the branches. There's 7 branches of Hunga. All of us do Gung Kun. All of us do the Tiger Crane, if you came down the lineage from Wong Fei Hong. So there's also they call the village Hunga, which is looks a little bit different. They are even harder than the typical Hunga. So sort of the modern day Hunga came in maybe in the late 1800s. Is a little bit more agile. Our great grandmaster Lam Jo made it even more agile because of his experience and his understanding. But the accuracy of position is one of the highlights that we take pride in as our style, because all of my teachers and my grandmasters, especially that era of teachers, really focus on those type of concepts. I call it the geometry of position. They have other terms that really mean the same thing. So when we do these movements, like a corner back fist, you have the corner back fist, you have the sliding step, you have a palm. All of these movements come from fundamentals. Fundamentals are sort of the basic motion, you develop the palm, you develop the corner back fist, you develop the elbow, corner back fist. This is your first form movement. So you learn it, you run through them, or you just can't kind of just go through the motions. That's not how you practice. You practice by focusing and understanding that there's a position. There's a position. There's a position. Those positions, once your body has learned it and memorized it as a position, your muscle memory, accuracy of those positions will just form, and it just becomes part of you. So that's how a technique actually works, because if you don't know where you're directing the punch, how can you actually hit a target? You have to first use your reference point. You chun kyo, you're here, you're blocked. The hand is there, your eyes are there, the punch goes there. If I want another punch, it goes there. If I want a thrust, the fingertip, it goes there. Fingertip, it goes there. Chop, it goes there. All of those are directed toward the imaginary center line. That imaginary center line is your triangle, the point that your target should be focused as a point. Then when you're driving your movement, it's going to that point. So why do we just use this height? Because that becomes sort of your standard. That standard gives you something to work toward as accuracy. And then everything is a variant. It doesn't matter. Once you have that, you just shift your body a little bit this way, a little bit this way, a little bit. Then it modifies the direction, and that's really tied to your legs. So if I'm in a horse stance and I turn to leaning, I have to be there. If I'm here and I punch, say second form, it's right there. So the alignment of that body position becomes even another level of understanding. So a lot of people don't understand the structure that they're going into as a posture. Once you reach a level of understanding the structure of posture, that's why, this is virtual, so you can only visualize it and see it as an image. And that's how we learn. But when you're in a classroom and you go into a position, the hand could be moved to here, this could be adjusted. All of these things become part of the interaction between student and teacher. This is something that I try to get across, just through dialogue. Chun kyo, center gate, punch. Just actually a little bit lower than shoulder height, because we sink in the stance. It appears like you're punching down, but you're not punching down, because when you're here, if you punch and you go like this and your butt sticks out, that's one of the faults that my teacher used to say. Your butt should not stick out. You should be sinking and vertical. When you sink, you have to go down. You don't, even a suspended horse like this, you have to sink in the stance. You don't just bend in the stance. When you bend, you lose your body positioning. Your body goes into a position of weakness, and it's really not a position of balance, so forth. So, when we speak of this, then you're tilting, and you're actually top heavy, you're not in a good position. So understanding those principles are very important. So, a little stage after form, because understanding really evolves. So when you start to understand these concepts and principles, you have to adapt all of this all of these ideas in the form. Then you start to evolve as far as how it looks, and then build timing, and which is a whole nother topic. I think at this point that covered a bit of things that you can understand, that fundamentals are key. If you're ready to do the gung jeet kun form, it's something that has all those fundamentals. They support every single form that you do. So they kind of cross-reference and cross-train your body to understand what these specific movements are. Okay, on that note, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends. I think we're at 800 something, or more close to 900 subscribers. We need to get to 1,000 before actually people will even share us more with other people, because without that 1,000, we really won't break that threshold. So anyways, see you next time. Next Wednesday is the next time we do this. Is that right, Lucian?
See you tonight at 6.
Okay, so we have a class at 6 o'clock tonight. It's a Kung Fu class. It's a Thursday, and I'll see you then.